We all know design is important, and if you're a designer looking to sell design services, or if you're an entrepreneur looking to add design elements to your product or service, you could be selling yourself short. My name's Greg Reyes, and this is Half Ideas. We all know that design is a key product differentiator. Well-designed products are easier to use, they're friendlier, and they have less customer support issues. But if you're a designer looking to try to sell design services to a company, you may often hear, but design is so expensive. Can't we cut that design phase down? Do we really need a research phase in what we're doing? And of course, the dreaded, I sketched out some ideas, if you could just make it pretty. Designers and entrepreneurs aren't always speaking the same language. While we know that design is valuable, designers often tend to speak in design principles, aesthetics, visuals, or user experiences. The fact is that people don't buy design. No entrepreneur wants design. No entrepreneur is thinking, man, today I'd really love to get some great design in here. 3 things to keep in mind. Number 1, don't sell design. When I first started my agency, I really thought about design, user experience, usability, and I really tried to convey the value of the design to the clients and the folks who I was working with. The fact of the matter is, nobody wants to buy design. People are looking to buy the product. They're looking to buy the outcome, the result of what that design will achieve. No one wants to buy the design of an iPhone. They go to the store and they want to buy the iPhone itself. Most people don't separate design from the thing itself. We were designing products, websites, mobile applications, and at the end of the day, people wanted that app. They didn't want the design of the app, they didn't want the wireframes, they wanted the final outcome. They wanted the result, and they wanted the product. And so if you're selling design, you're trying to convince people that you and your design team or your design skills can make a difference. It's not really about the design, it's about the impact that that design will have on the ultimate products and the ultimate customers as well. Design is just one of the ingredients you need to make a great product. It obviously takes design, engineering, and a whole team to often bring a product together to have a cohesive user experience. So it's not really about the ingredients, it's about the end result. It's about all those ingredients working together. And if you're an entrepreneur or business owner thinking about incorporating design elements into your product, try to really be specific about the results that you're looking to get. Is it improvements in conversion rate? Is it reduction in the bounce rate? Is it retention? Is it lifetime value? What are the things that are most important in terms of results that you really want to achieve? Try to spend less time thinking about the fonts and colors. Those things are important, but really understand what actual results you want the design to achieve. Results can be based on aesthetic qualities. You may want it to look professional, quirky, natural, friendly, intuitive. Try to be specific about what you want in terms of both the aesthetics and the functional aspects. Oftentimes, the functional aspects can have a much greater impact on the design of your product. And make sure if you're talking to a designer or hiring a designer, you're conveying those values that you really care about. A lot of things in design also happen not on the screen, but behind the scenes. And as a designer, you want to convey the value of those things. You know, are you thinking through the setup experience? Are you thinking through the onboarding experience? Are you thinking through all the error cases of someone setting up a product or service? Those elements that happen behind the screen or behind the elements that happen visually are just as important and oftentimes even more important than the things that happen in the color or the font of a particular logo. Number 2, don't sell design as a phase. Oftentimes I hear designers incorporating a design phase up front, a wireframing phase. I used to do this with my own projects as well, and it's really problematic. Ultimately, when you're building a product, the product ends at the end when you ship it to customers. And if there's an opportunity to mess up the design or have something go not quite right at the end of the product, you want to make sure that there's designers that are part of the team all the way through the ship date. So think about how you can incorporate design not as a phase, but as a continuum. Again, since people don't buy design, they buy the ultimate product, you want to make sure your design and your team is cohesive. Secondly, it's important that designers and engineers are working together. If you incorporate design, not only does it make it easy for the client or customer to diminish that phase or make it smaller, but you're creating the opportunity for engineers and designers not to actually overlap very much or at all. Setting up phase design really sets you up for a waterfall approach, and you really don't want that. You want engineering and design to work cohesively together to deliver impactful products. By treating design as a continuum, you're less likely to be without a designer when you really need one. By creating opportunities for engineers and designers to be overlapped, you're increasing their ability to solve really hard problems. Ultimately, that leads to better products, and ultimately that leads to better results. Number 3, great design is really about solving business problems. If you're a designer showing your portfolio or your work, it's great to show the pixels, but it's just as important to put emphasis on those business results that you're driving. Were you able to improve the conversion rate? Were you able to drive adoption? Were you able to improve customer satisfaction? By focusing on the business results as opposed to the pixels, you're really speaking the language that business buyers are interested in, and that will ultimately allow you to have a greater impact through your design work and through the industry at large. And of course, when someone is buying design services from you, they're buying design from a person. So think about your charisma, the way you present yourself in a room, the confidence that you're bringing to a situation. It's really about you, the person, and your ability to impact a business result. So make sure you really understand the business problems that you're trying to solve, not just the visuals and the pixels and the aesthetics, which are certainly important for a designer, but really, what is the ultimate outcome that this person cares about, and how can you really make a difference in customers' lives? I'm Greg Reyes. Thanks for joining me. If you like this sort of content, please hit the like button, leave a comment, tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Till the next one.